Now, James, another hit to the Stephen Miles Labor government is the new tobacco laws, which will see small businesses charge a licence fee to sell tobacco products and prohibit anyone under 18 selling them. Now, you've said this will blow out to become major costings for business owners. Tell us about that.
Well, there's two fronts to this, and you've identified both of them. One of which is that small businesses, a lot of them little convenience stores, small servos, where there isn't the margin in cigarettes, it's more a convenience. And a lot of these storekeepers just simply keep them behind the shelves because they're in one-horse towns, you know, with a couple of dozen people in them or a couple of hundred people. It doesn't really matter. And as we know, Queensland's quite a very large state. If you're one of those stores that's got the one shop in it that keep cigarettes on behind the counter for the simple fact that it avoids a customer having to travel 100 kilometres or 30 k's, whatever it is. That becomes an inconvenient truth for a lot of those shoppers. But more so, it's more inconvenient. They've put a $500 or thereabouts, it's almost $500 fee on the yearly licence. But the other issue that I see as problematic for a lot of small businesses, they've got young kids that come in after school. They're giving those young people under the age of 18 a job. Under these new rules, those people under the age of 18 won't even be able to stock the shelf, let alone sell them over the counter. So this is causing problems for a lot of those smaller businesses. I know myself being in business, when you get the young person in after school, they're often doing, you know, the stuff behind the register while you're out the back doing the books and taking care of the measures for the ATO. So this creates a problem on a few different fronts. A lot of small businesses have simply said to me, they're just going to give up. They're not going to bother selling cigarettes, which I know in some people's minds, oh, good, that's one less way for people to get their hands on cigarettes. But it creates a problem for those people with those addictions. And I just don't think it's a smart way to do business, particularly when, as I've pointed out before, you can be 10 years old working in your dad's drive-through in those same small towns, serving alcohol, but you're not allowed to serve cigarettes over the counter. It just doesn't make a great deal of sense.
No, it certainly doesn't when you think of it like that. And you know, you mentioned rural one-horse towns, etc. Do you think this policy reveals that the Stephen Miles government is really only a government for the capital city rather than for the regions?
Oh, most definitely. I don't think the Premier's driven the Bruce Highway in a very long time. If he had, he'd probably be more focused on dedicating those billions he wants to put into stadiums and the Olympics into a feasible and workable road, because let's face it, there's a lot of our trucks that are bringing produce from central and north and far north Queensland down to the hordes of people down in the southeast. And don't forget, it's all our royalties that come for our coal mines and gas fields that are feeding the southeast. Unfortunately, I don't think he recognises what happens in regional parts. When he does travel to these parts, he fires up the government jet. So, no, he's got a very, very poor understanding of what regional Queensland's going through.
I think he certainly does.